Recording is part of a series of recordings reporting on an exploration into our creativity, collectively entitled Releasing Your Unlimited Creativity After Action Report, abbreviated RYUC AAR. This particular recording addresses the creativity essential, creative essence of creation, seeking an experience through us. Background on the creativity essentials and the RYUC material. The creativity essentials are concepts, principles, ideas, or whatever one may wish to call them, related to the source out of which our creativity arises. The journey of exploration into our creativity revealed the essentials needed to be addressed and understood in some way by an individual if one desired to move as deep as possible into their own creativity, creative ability, and creative power in this incarnation. Otherwise, one would be placing self-imposed limits on their creativity. Essentials are not building blocks or fundamental items used to create something. Rather, the essentials are about the stuff out of which the building blocks and foundational items arise. It is suggested you ponder, contemplate, do your own experiments with the creativity essentials such that you know their truth for yourself. Here I wish to bring to your attention we each have a very unique perspective of creation. What I say and write about on the topic of creativity with its relationship with the creative essence of creation are my comments based on my observation and experience from the journey of exploration into our creativity. If what I say resonates with you, use it. Otherwise, it's recommended you do your own contemplation, experiments, and exploration into the variety of topics discussed here to see which true for yourself. The creative essence of creation desires or seeks to experience its creation through us. As stated, and what needs to be emphasized, is the creative essence of creation desires or seeks to experience its creation through us. We, our unique subjective awareness, has been invited to dance with this energy and what the energy desires to create and experience. This creative essence has something it wants to express or experience separate from our mind and the wants and desires of our mind. Here it is about learning how to live in alignment with this energy and what occurs when we are out of alignment. As one moves through life, if one can shed the details in whatever story we tell about our life, we can look at what was or is the creative urge that propels us through life and what kept or keeps calling us to a particular direction in living life. If we cannot shed the details in the story we tell, we will be continually distracted from expressing this creative urge. What this means is the energy giving rise to our life is the direct experience of the source of creation. The creative essence is something it wants to express or experience separate from our mind and the wants and desires of our mind. How this is achieved has been reported in a variety of ways. We can experience a push or a pull in some way. It has been often experienced as a deep, heartfelt passion catalyzing our life, pushing us or pulling us into a particular direction in life. When we move in the direction the creative essence desires, we find what energizes us and gives us life. Here it's about learning how to live in alignment with this energy and what occurs when we are out of alignment. One can experience being pulled by something unexplainable, often at seemingly pivotal moments in our life. Often what the creative essence of creation desires is the pull we feel that makes the event pivotal. These experiences are not limited to any nationality, location, spiritual or religious tradition that may be followed. Rather, it is something that is unique to the individual. But undeniably, there is a presence within guiding the individual in some way. Then there can be the experience of sensing or feeling a deep sense of reality that has been calling all along. We can suggest we are carried along by the wisdom of nature inside of us. This wisdom of nature has also been called a self-healing presence within us, capable of healing us and knowing what we need. This present within is something within us that knows better than we know ourselves. However one chooses to describe this wisdom of nature which is present within and calls us along, is reflected in a constancy that has been there since our birth and carries us through this journey through life. Here we need to emphasize this presence within, however it is described, often has no interest in our comfort. Rather, it is interested in the truth of our uniqueness being expressed, whatever that truth may prove to be. The energy within us giving rise to our life and sustaining us. The energy of the creative essence of creation and what it desires to experience through us is what gives rise to our life and sustains us. As we align with what this energy desires to experience, we will find we are energized and catalyzed by the experiences the creative essence desires, and it gives rise to an experience of the heartfelt passion that energizes our life. It was also observed that if we are unable to live in alignment with this creative essence of creation desires, and we are unable to express it to some degree, what it desires to create, we will never find life fulfilling. Rather, we will feel something is missing in our life. Living what this creative essence desires allows us the opportunity to create a life worth living, for the life it creates is what the creative essence desires to experience. If what this creative essence desires to experience is not worth living, why would it have created it in the first place? Additionally, this creative life energy will give us all the health we need to have the experiences the creative essence of creation desires to experience through us. What is asked of us? To complement aligning with the flow of our creative life energy, it is beneficial to learn to ask, what does this energy within my being ask of me? This energy is a unique expression of the creative essence of creation, and as such, we are each individually a very unique subjective expression of this energy. It is a solo journey to understand what this creative essence of creation desires to experience. Nobody can live our life for us. Nobody can tell us exactly how to find this feeling of inner satisfaction. We each need to be allowed to do our own experiments to see what serves and what allows us to find that inner fulfillment. What is asked of us implies an overall plan, but what it really boils down to is what is asked of me in this moment and in this situation. Here, the programming steps in and plays a big role. Often our response is survival, or our response is about responding how we were taught or conditioned to respond. We need to become aware and ask, do I respond to what my heart says? Do I respond in compassion or respond not liking what is offered? Do I respond in anger or forgiveness, or in thankfulness for the experience, whatever that experience may be? As a minimum, we are asked to consciously act in the world and respond to the world. To consciously respond to the world is about being aware of what our mind thinks and what our heart feels in any moment. It is highly recommended to respond in the direction of the heart. Dealing with what is asked of us arising from the creative life energy flowing within and sustaining us is that often our ego has its preferences and what it has come to like and want. What is asked of us is often at odds with the ego. It is really a matter of our choice as to whether we follow the ego or what the energy that is sustaining us is asking. Why are we here in physical creation? The reason why we are here in physical creation is to fulfill the desire of the creative essence of creation which gave rise to our life and the experiences we have. Some say we are here to learn lessons like we were in school. Some say we're here to evolve our consciousness. Some say we are here to learn love. However, the journey of exploration into our creativity suggests there is not a single reason for us being here. Rather, we each have our own unique reason. The journey did reveal there is an orchestration in creation of which we have been given a role. The journey suggests no two roles in this orchestration are the same, and we cannot speculate what our role will be or that of any other. There are two reasons for this. One is the energy, what brought us into physical creation and formed our body, existed before our human mind developed. That role is encoded in our body such that we may never get a clear mental picture of what is asked of us, but we will feel it. As we accumulate experience in life, we may get a clearer picture of our role. However, even if we did get a clear mental picture of what we are doing in life and what we are here to do, it is only our perspective. We do not see all the impacts on all the others that we experience in our life and how our actions ripple out into creation. In some ways, it is much like a honeybee. If you ask the honeybee, what is it you do? It would say, I fly from flower to flower collecting pollen and nectar to make honey. However, what the honeybee does not see is how it pollinates the flowers as it flies from flower to flower. It does not see itself as pollinating the flowers. It sees itself collecting pollen to make honey. So to our lives. We may have a very good description and story of what we do in our life and with our life, and it may be accurate as to what our life purpose is relative to how we live our life. But we cannot see and we do not know all that we impact in and with our life. Navigating from the heart. To align with the dance, this creative life energy of the creative essence of creation flowing through us requires us to learn to navigate to the heart. Navigating from the heart is about becoming aware of what direction in life this energy is asking us to go. We become aware of it through feeling. It is to use the feeling of this flow of energy to set the direction of our path in life. The feeling that arises from within our heart points us towards what the creative essence desires to experience. The mind can help us shape and build, but the heart has to lead the way. The mind helps us to give form to what the heart reveals. We can then use our mind, its creative imagination, and practical knowledge our mind has come to learn about life and about living in the world to survive and thrive in the time and place of our existence, to both give this creative life energy what it desires to experience and honoring what gives us life, yet do what is asked of us to survive in the world in a way that we find ourselves able to create a life worth living. If one is able to navigate from the heart, the other aspects of our life will fall into place, for we will be aligning with what the creative essence of creation desires. When we follow the heart, life begins to open into something richer, more alive, more fulfilling, because navigating from the heart is based on our feelings, and that is why it's so powerful. The mind can be very deceiving in what it comes to believe, for it gives rise to an illusion about what we think, what it is we feel, and what we are feeling is all about. But the feeling arises from the heart, and our creative life energy are accurate. A life worth living. If we align with and follow what the creative essence desires to experience through us, we will move towards creating a life which can be called a life worth living. If this creative essence desires to experience is not worth living, why would it have created our life in the first place? A life worth living is a life so rich and so full and internally satisfying that if one died and discovered eternity is doing what we are now doing for eternity, our life is so rich and full and internally satisfying, we would be satisfied for eternity. A life worth living is what the desire of the creative essence of creation is offering us. We have been given an invitation to experience this life worth living, but it is our choice to accept or reject. A life worth living is not free of challenges and difficulties. Rather, it is a life which offers the creative opportunities which satisfy the desires of the creative essence of creation flowing through us. We each carry all that we need to face what life has to offer and be able to address it. Our creativity gives us the means to address whatever we face.